Oh, that's a really nice one. All right, you guys, about to head down this trail, head to this local pond, bringing 3 rods with me. Water temps are in the mid 60s. It's May 21st. Bringing the Expride 7.3 extra heavy, Corrado K200 with a frog tied on, straight braid. We're gonna be also throwing the NRX Plus 852S jig and worm rod with the Shimano Accents 3000 wacky worm tied on. Mega Bass Orochi 7.2 heavy, perfect pitch. 2024 Bantam. Love that reel. I'll do a review on all this gear. I'll link everything down below. Let's take a walk. All right, you guys, just got down to the pond. We got a pretty strong headwind, which is good and bad. Shad spawn is happening right now, which means that casting might be difficult, but at least all that bait will be blowing up on this bank. So we're gonna walk around this corner to this little cove. I don't know if you noticed, there is a little creek. Some of the bass like to hang out up here. I'm gonna find a good place to put these rods down, see if I can see any fish in this grass that's starting to come in. Can't emphasize enough how important a good pair of polarized sunglasses is. When you're walking a bank, oftentimes you can see the bass starting to pull in here now that the grass is starting to come in. It's a really good sign. A lot of times you'll see frogs and other species of fish like pickerel and perch, bluegill, all in here. And you know that's what the bass love to eat right now, is those bluegill. Let's find a good spot to put these rods down. So you can see I got a little punch set up right here. This grass starting to come in, it gets very matted in here. I think something just picked my bait up. I saw my line moving. First cast, that would have been bad luck. Everybody knows that. Oh, I just got a hit. I got one. I got a good one. He's going towards that grass. I think we cleared the grass. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, that's a really nice one. Oh, that's a really nice one. Wow, you guys. First cast. Look at that fish. Let's get that guy back in the water. It's probably a 4 or 5 pounder. That was awesome. Let's see if we can get another one. If you guys can see this, I don't know if you can notice it on camera, but I'm using a high vis line, using Cortland 40-pound braid, which is not a smooth braid. I got a very coarse braid on purpose because it slices through the grass like a saw, and I'm tying straight braid to my punch set, and I do not use a leader on this setup. And what I do is I use a high vis line so I can see my line moving, but I'll take a Sharpie and I'll color the line black about 6 to 10 feet up the line, and the fish will never see it. Slowly working this worm back on the bottom, giving it a little hop every now and then, waiting to feel the tick, that bite. You can see the transition hopefully between the black colored Sharpie line and the high vis line, so I can see it on the top of the water better, especially in these windy conditions. I can see that line jump if the fish hits it and I don't feel the bite. Ooh. I get a new worm on. Just had another bite, missed the hook, should have let him eat it. Tighten my drag up a little bit. There's a lot of submerged grass out there. I'm getting very weeded up, which is okay. It's just part of it. Try and shake a little bit of it off. They're grabbing it on the fall anyway. Just try and get up real shallow. I've been casting straight across this grass line, right where you can start to see it poke up. I'm gonna cast shallow over here. I'm gonna try and flip it in there. All right, you guys, I'm gonna switch up techniques a little bit. They want it on the fall, so you know that means that the wacky rig is the way you want to go. It's a little windy, but I'm hoping that worm won't get blown around too much. We can keep those fish, once we catch them, out of the grass. I like to throw my wacky rig on an offset worm hook because it gives me the versatility. If it's getting too weeded up, I can rig it weedless. And honestly, this hook versus a wacky rig hook doesn't make that big of a difference to the fish from what I've noticed. So this is the kind of hook, I believe this is a 2-aught. This is what I like to throw it on. Sometimes a 1-aught if the water's really clear. You know, sometimes I'll still throw a wacky rig if there's perfectly clear water, no vegetation, no brush piles, no laydowns that I'm fishing around. It's just clear rocky sand bottom. I'll fish a small wacky rig hook, but if there's any type of cover, I always like to throw it on this because I can rig it weedless, weightless if I want to. Got one. Told you they wanted it on the fall. Little guy. Little bull, male. He took my worm. Really love that green pumpkin color. I don't know if I have any more of them. I do have this one that I just swapped out, which is still fine. It's all torn up from being on a punch set, but it will work great for a wacky rig. Let's see if we can get the female over there that he was probably betting with. Here's one. Another male. He took my worm too. Let's see if they'll eat a baby bass. I'm almost positive that they will. Here we go. Ooh! There we go. That was a little better. Should probably retie this, and I'm going to regret it, but I'm not going to just yet. Thanks, buddy. These little guys are so fun to catch. All right, guys, that was a super successful trip. Came down here, spawning, fish are on beds, caught a nice one to start. A 4 or 5 pounder. Caught, I don't even know how many. Little 1-2 pounders. Nothing more fun than that. They're super active. Started getting some hit on the Texas rig. Noticed that they kept hitting it on the fall. It's getting really weeded up. Switched over to the wacky rig. Just throwing the orange pumpkin, Senko, and throwing a baby bass, and they were loving it. Springtime fishing is the best. Doesn't get much better than that. I'll be coming back. We'll have more gear reviews. I'll have more tournaments set up. Go through my kayak. We're gonna do some surf casting. Stripers are in. See if we can do some tuna fishing this summer. Try some other techniques. We'll keep going. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. We'll see you next time.